so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SO9 incident was just another name for the Joe Darke killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. I don't want Darke convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Darke's last victim was Prosecutor Leo Marshall. And he murdered Officer Marshall's brother. He left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. What did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Leo Marshall was murdered, Joe Darke tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Darke trial. I didn't see that one coming. It happened 2 years ago. It was right around this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day. Unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. So dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Darke tried to take me hostage. Before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then brought an opponent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture? I don't remember the moment when Darke stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked what about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence. Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, so he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true. Even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did. Especially not to Emma. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Darke knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor guy? I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. Been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, I must have been 14. That's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I wanted to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, he was being chased by a prosecutor. Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Darke had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective's offices and the questioning room were right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Darke case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her. Lana! Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago? And how the SO9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details? Especially about the unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well. Though I expected as much. You know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no motor at the police department. me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr said. Are you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife? Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. They still talk all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? He was a deputy chief of police back then, but he still walked through the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. And now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SO9 case was crucial to its revolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Darke. Second in command? That means the investigation led was Damon Gant, right? Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. We even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gun-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Darke was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. He tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Darke. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Darke that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Darke must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he went straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana. It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Darke. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Darke. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Darke had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Darke under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SO9 incident. That's right. Quite a coincidence, I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. That case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Mr. Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Darke. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case is might not just be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Darke at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I share. The office that Mr. Grant now occupies by himself, the chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SR9 motor. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall! I never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Pieces here. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance. We all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do prosecutors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about it, was that one. Will you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall? Would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the mortar weapon. Mortar weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Darke's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there was a good chance that knife was not the mortar weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the SR9 incident left behind. I got the looks. He got the blades. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he, your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the king of prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the SR9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken. taken care of. Miss Star was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. Hey? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky. The investigation led Damon Gant and his second-in-command, Lana Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After that case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah. Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since he left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now he mentions it. Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina. No secret is too well guarded. Never found out. Not a secret. It all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in that courtroom today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. You don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I wouldn't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they are in the conference room. Thanks. Oh, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what he did and the decision about what to do. But Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Grant's office. Use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. And I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. But what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. Whoa! Where am I? In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss... Batch? I don't know how to pronounce that, but the way I was going to is not the right way, dear God. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. I never could remember where C was. paper he was reading in his desk. So, Righto, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct. Elana's provocative statements. Provocative statements? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. Is that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. This is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. Anyway, I like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's get out. Let's go out together. Oh, but this office. It was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. Oh, the same would still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Looks like we weren't welcome. Seems that case isn't over with yet, after all. What do you mean? Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's got to be a way we can get inside the chief's office. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe! Aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually, I'm serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle's between you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole ward after his blood. Yikes. Why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Now this guy's the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, the prosecutor's responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there's been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent, the prosecutors kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? Howard, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey, Dick! Keep up the good work! Yes, sir! Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat! Yes, sir! You gotta take me back to the joint sometimes, okay, Dick? Yes, sir! Seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. accident. I took a look at the fire order while the coffee was brewing. Seems generally concerned for Edgeworth. Well, find out anything? The only thing Darke left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean he killed Prosecutor Marshall who was trying to protect some gore? Me. Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the god. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it has something to do with the motor weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? The powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the motor weapon. Might jog his memory. About this. Hey, is that? It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 written on it. I believe this would be the broken motor weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. And the day Detective Goodman was murdered, it suddenly disappeared from the locker. And his friend Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it. Now I remember what was incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. The Darke was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your one-of-the-mill businessman. Businessman? What made him take the serial killer? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. His car? So, it was an accident? An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed the accident. And he killed a lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by distance, so he killed him too. Then when he was burying the bodies, a dog came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in? Yes, in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Darke was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness, aka Emma. This knife, it was Joe Darke's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus it had his fingerprints on it too. No one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck went out. When you take a good look at the knife, you see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well anyway, take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Darke's knife? You bet! Down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the Chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The Chief's out now. And his office is locked. We'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What? Really? If I let a civilian in there, I'll be in charge of breach of trust. I'll be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'll be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman. That won't work either. Data was deleted the day he died. Oh. In other words, this is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind.